Whether you want to believe it or not, Winds of Winter is coming. In this video, typically when I make a Winds of Winter update video every couple of weeks, I usually address the progress that George R. R. Martin has made while writing the actual book. In this video, I want to discuss 3 different theories that super intrigue me and I look forward to reading about in Winds of Winter. Before I jump into any of that, please do me 2 quick favors. Slap a like on this video, and this is the most important part. Make sure you're subscribed. That way, you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout the wait for Winds of Winter, throughout the wait for House of the Dragon Season 1, or as it's known on this channel, the Long Nights! Alright, now the first theory that super intrigues me is the fact that the Faceless Men, particularly in link with Euron Greyjoy, have a dragon egg. And they're currently at the Citadel, and a lot of people think, myself included, that the Faceless Man is going to try to steal a book to learn how to hatch the dragon egg. Now, obviously, a Faceless Man is an assassin, one of the most, if not the most, deadliest types of warriors in Westeros, and they come with a high price. So that leads me into some of the credence for this theory. And this is basically Euron Greyjoy. We saw him on the TV series, but his book counterpart is basically a medieval pirate, wizard, drunken sailor guy who does horrible things. So in the books, much like on the TV show, Balon is killed. Now, there's a character known as the Ghost of Highheart, and they basically dream of a man without a face on a bridge and a drowned crown on his shoulder. So basically, a lot of people interpret that dream from the Ghost of Highheart as Balon when he died falling from the bridge at Pike. Now, there's some more credence to this, more specifically Euron in the Euron Greyjoy Winds of Winter preview chapter sort of confirms this. He's asked about, what happened to the dragon egg, and he says he tossed it in the sea. And once you realize that, obviously Balon died from drowning off of a bridge, and Faceless Men are known to, charge an insane amount of money to assassinate someone, and you realize Balon's a king, you realize that, Euron is missing his dragon egg. One thing leads to another. It's obvious that Euron paid a Faceless Man a dragon egg in order to get rid of his brother Balon. Now, obviously, Euron's gifts are poisoned, so, Faceless Men are not necessarily something to fuck with, but I'm pretty sure that Euron has a plan to get the dragon egg back. You all let me know what you think down below. Do you think the Faceless Man is going to get a chance to hatch a dragon egg, and that's when Euron will show up at the Citadel and use Dragon Binder to sort of bind the dragon that's hatched from the Faceless Men, and maybe that's why he allowed the Faceless Men to have it, because he knew that someone with those types of skills, similar to Arya's, would be the only one who would be able to sneak into the Citadel and steal a book. And does this also mean that Arya may potentially be riding one of the dragons? Let me know down below in the comment section. Just sort of moving things along here, this video wasn't going to be very long. The next theory that I want to talk about is the kind of, I won't spend that much time talking about it, but it's one of my least favorite characters, book and TV show, Sansa. I just thought it would be interesting if she did end up marrying a dragon. Now, basically, this theory sort of goes all the way back to Dunk and Egg. And Dunk and Egg go to a tourney at Ashford, and they celebrate Lord Ashford's daughter's 13th name day. Now, she actually had 5 champions that fought on her behalf. And the first one is Lionel Baratheon, the second one is Leo Tyrell, then T-Bolt Lannister, then Humphrey Harding, then Prince Valar Targaryen. Now, there's not that much to link Sansa and Lady Ashford, but if you look at who Sansa is betrothed to and then married, she's first betrothed to a Baratheon, then a Tyrell, then a Lannister, and now Harry Harding. And then, obviously, she's not going to marry Jon Snow, so a lot of people think that since Aegon, even if you want to call him Fagon and think that he's Varys' puppet, he's still a Blackfyre. Blackfyres are still Targaryens. He's still a legitimate dragon. He's just not necessarily one of the ones from the prophecy. Now, there's obviously a number of things that could go down in Winds of Winter that sort of change our opinion on Aegon. Maybe there's something that happens that legitimizes his claim. But if you follow this theory of the tourney at Ashford's and, how Sansa has basically been betrothed and married to the same order as Lord Ashford's daughter on her 13th name day, Lionel Baratheon, Leo Tyrell, T-Bolt Lannister, Humphrey Harding, and Prince Valar Targaryen, Sansa is Joffrey Baratheon, Willis Tyrell, Tyrion Lannister, Harry Harding, and it's possible that she may marry Jon Snow just to sort of unite the North. We know that Jon will eventually, if brought back, will be named King of the North, and there's a strong case that Rickon could be, also brought into that picture. But like I said, I didn't want to spend that much time talking about this theory, because Sansa's like my least favorite characters, book and TV show, and honestly, what she's doing in Dance with Dragons is kind of fucking boring. So let's move on to the next theory. I guess more appropriately should be called the last theory. Now, this is kind of related to what I just talked about with Jon Snow if he's brought back. Now, George does bring back main POV characters. He doesn't necessarily write in a way that would mean that Jon Snow would be a major character. Of course, obviously, you can debate me down below in the comment section. But in order for Jon to be brought back, it has to be more addressed than it was on the TV show. Like, we got Melisandre praying over Jon Snow's body, and we assume that her lack of faith in R'hllor beforehand, like basically when Beric Dondarrion is brought back the first time by Thoros of Myr. Thoros of Myr describes losing all faith in R'hllor, and he just basically threw shit to the wind and was like, I'm just going to pray over his body, and it worked. And that sort of restored his faith in R'hllor and brought back Beric Dondarrion multiple times. Well, now, when Beric Dondarrion when Melisandre prayed over the body of Jon Snow in the TV series, because it was established a few episodes before that, the season before that Melisandre was sort of losing her faith in R'hllor, this is most likely what brought Jon Snow back. Now, you could argue that the death of Shireen, the burning of Shireen, didn't necessarily melt the snow, but made it possible to use blood magic to bring Jon Snow back. Now, it was obviously just delayed a little bit. Jon Snow died a little bit after Shireen's death. But you could argue that something similar to that will happen in the books. Now, Stannis, last we heard of him at least, was marching down to go take back Winterfell, right? The pink letter happens, much like it does on the TV show, except for we don't really know what Jon Snow's going to do because he's killed shortly after that, right? So there's a letter mysteriously sent to Jon saying, I got your false king. He's in a fucking cage. I got his false wife too. Basically, what you tried to do with sending Stannis down here, even though Jon didn't necessarily do that, failed. So a lot of people think that that's bullshit. Stannis is still marching. Stannis died on the TV show. George has confirmed that he's still alive in the books. But a lot of people think that this is just a trick in order to lure Jon Snow out to come and fight the bastard of Winterfell, obviously Ramsay Bolton. But with that aside, I think it's possible for someone to bring Jon Snow back, whether that be Melisandre, whether that be Shireen actually being burned to death in the books, or whether it's Lady Stoneheart sacrificing herself to bring Jon Snow back. He's a part of a prophecy, and yes, it would piss a lot of people off if George didn't do it, but in my opinion, he most likely will. You all let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section. Alright, now this seems like a good point to get the fuck out of here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could please do me those two massive favors that I asked you about doing at the beginning of this video if you enjoyed this, and that is slap a like on this video. The like goal is going to be 420. Get it? And then also make sure you're subscribed, so that way you'll get an alert every single time I drop a Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, or Winds of Winter video throughout the wait for any of those, as it's called on this channel, The Long Night, and all shit. Also, the Game of Thrones HBO has officially announced a convention. They are holding it in February in Vegas. I cannot afford to go on my measly YouTube ad revenue. I'm going to be saving every dollar towards that trip. But if you enjoy my content and you want to see what's going on to that convention, what's going on at that convention, and whether they're able to get like Emilia Clarke and George R. R. Martin and maybe Dan and Dave, but you can't go yourself, go check out my GoFundMe and kick me a few dollars. I'm going to try my best to make it out there to Vegas in February. I don't want to thank you all again so much for watching. My name is Mark. Oh yeah, and the GoFundMe is linked down below in the description, and I think I put a link up for it right here in the video. My name is Mark, and this has been Sorensen. Long Night Reviews.